Welcome back to the CYBERUK TV here from Manchester. I'm joined by Dr. Richard Horne, CEO of the National Cybersecurity Centre, who has been leading this conference. Richard, hello.
Hi, Darragh. Good.
Richard, how have you found the conference? What stood out for you?
I think the thing that's really struck me in this conference is just the sense of community. We are a community who work together and collaborate, and you really feel that here. It's a warm place. There's lots of friendly conversations going on, and it kind of just feels like a community coming together with a common purpose.
And there seems to be a good mix of public and private sector and internationals as well. Is that why is that important to you?
So it's really important for us. In my speech, I talked about cybersecurity being a contest, and in that contest, it's not about us working in isolation in the UK. This is an international contest, and working with our partners internationally is so important. So we've got nearly 40 countries here. Been part of we had a special day before the conference started where we just got government counterparts together, and then they've been around the whole time speaking on panels, part of the conference, and that's been a really important part of the mix.
And in terms of the venue we're at here in Manchester, it's a massive venue. It's how did that make you feel?
It's a lovely venue, and what so many people have commented how the atmosphere here is just nice and calm. We've got a huge number, thousands and thousands, I think, but it doesn't feel packed and it doesn't feel intense. It feels calm and it feels relaxed, and you're able to have conversations wherever you are, which is great.
Richard, have there been any standout moments for you during CYBERUK?
So probably two, I think, Darragh.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one was your good self. I talked in my opening speech about cybersecurity being a contest and the fact that I play tennis, and a lot of analogies around that. So you came out in 1950s tennis gear with a wooden racket, which was a great moment just to kind of seal the message.
Yeah, it's good to bookend the day.
Indeed,
I felt.
that's right. I thought it was great. But I think the other thing that's really struck me is we've made several announcements here, and the interest they've attracted outside of the conference. So, for example, passkeys and the government's use of passkeys is something that we've been keen to get out there this conference, and it's really attracted attention and been picked up in mainstream media, which is something never thought would happen. Mainstream media talking about FIDO and passkeys.
And exactly, and the variety of announcements that have been released between that and AI, and it's and why, and just on sticking with passkeys, is what is it that's particularly of interest to you on that?
So for us, passwords are one of the sort of inherent weaknesses in the way we've done cybersecurity for so many decades, and we've got to move beyond them. And passkeys are a really interesting technology that makes a sort of a good security replacement for passwords easy to use. So it's something we're really keen to promote. It's got international movement behind it, big tech behind it. So we've got a really good chance of, at last, getting rid of passwords, and we're really keen to make it happen.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. I mean, look at here. We got on our thing. We are transforming resilience and countering threats. That's the theme of CYBERUK this year. What do you want public sector, what do you want government to be doing more of, less of, to transform resilience and to counter threats?
It's a great point, and I think there's sort of that one of the things we've been really keen to emphasise is that cybersecurity, we think of it about a risk that we control, and we can't have total control because it is a contest. And I talked about in a tennis match, I can't control what my opponent does. I have to respond. And so we really want people to focus on understanding their exposure, building the right defences, but also critically knowing how they would continue operations and rebuild if they were hit by a cyber attack.
You mentioned cyber attacks and being hit by them. So we've come into this conference a week when the UK retail sector has been targeted. What is your view on, or so what is your message on to organisations in the face of destructive attacks like ransomware or like another form of attack?
So we had a panel in the opening session, which you can get on CYBERUK online, on the YouTube channel, and we had 3 people talking about what happens when successful destructive attacks hit and what organisations need to think about, and just the absolute importance of preparing in advance for how you would continue operations and how you would rebuild in the face of a successful destructive attack is so critical.
And that message is not just UK. Obviously, that's an international
Absolutely.
picture. And in terms of, are you in terms of the overall threat picture, is there anything particular that stood out for you in that regard?
So I think we've talked quite openly about the fact that we have a widening gap. We have our exposure to the impact of cyber attacks is growing as we're becoming more dependent on technology, and at the same time the threat is advancing really quickly, both criminal and nation state. And then of course you've got AI in the mix enabling the attackers, but also potentially enabling us in defense.
Yeah.
So the importance of closing that gap.
Super. And you've talked about, this is a sellout event. What would be your message to those who haven't yet been to Cyber UK and who want to come next year?
So I think we really try to make it a proper, meaningful conversation here. So it's not a conference in the normal way. It's a very much the UK community and international community coming together to have a conversation about what we need to continue, what we need to build together. And even the exhibitions, it's been so lovely going around the different stalls and meeting people who are friends in the industry and old contacts, and sort of it's less about the marketing and it's more about the conversation.
Yes, and there's a real mix of firms out there and organisations. It's not just the big companies. It seems to be a mix of academia, is that right? And
we've got academia, we've got startups. There's some really sort of small growing companies that are here that we've been involved with and others have, and it is a really good mix.
You also visited, while you were here, you visited the Cyber First programme.
That's
Can you
right.
tell us a bit about that?
So that was really exciting. So, I mean, Cyber First is one of the huge success stories, I think, of this country, showing how over sort of a continual period of time, you just build momentum with something that takes kids in secondary schools, a lot of them less privileged areas, focus on bringing kids in who may not think about a career in cybersecurity, and girls for whom there's a big gender gap in our industry, and introducing them to cybersecurity in a fun way that grabs their attention. And so we had some schools here, and I spent some time in the session there, and it was great seeing them engaged, seeing them enjoying it, seeing them get stuck in, and seeing them open their eyes to what might be possible for them.
Well, that's the thing, the enthusiasm from those 120 young people, those students who came here, has been, it was inspirational, I found. So
I did, yeah.
Good. Well, Richard, that's been fascinating. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on a marvellous conference, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you, Darragh.
Thank you.